Hi everyone, it's Marieta. Welcome to today's live Q&A. Today I'm going to talk about extension, visa extension. Yesterday I talked about B visa slash B1 versus E2. So if you missed yesterday live, go back and watch that video. I was telling you about the difference between B1 and E2. So what's the main difference? B1 is the business visa that allow you to travel to United States for a conference, business meeting, but you cannot work in United States and manage your business. E2, on the other hand, allow you to go to the US to manage your business, work for your company, okay? And additionally, you can actually request and apply for a work permit for your spouse. So big difference. With B visa, you cannot work in the United States. With E2, you can work. And actually, that's the purpose of working in the United States, managing your business with E2. So that is the main difference, so you can understand that. Now, today I do want to talk about extension, okay? So what if your visa is about to going to expire? What are your options, right? Because you don't want to overstay. You don't want to stay in the US illegally. So this today live Q&A is going to be about extensions and how you can actually extend the visa and what are your options, right? Now, before I actually start, I do want to mention that there is upcoming webinar happening, live webinar training happening on Friday. Friday, I will talk about 3 secrets how you start a business. And I call them secrets because this is actually based on my experience as immigration lawyer and entrepreneur and expert in the field and also immigrant. So I'm going to give you perspective from different angles, not as immigration lawyer, but also not just as immigration lawyer, but also as an immigrant, also as entrepreneur. So the webinar is happening on Friday and I already shared the link with you guys. So you can actually find the link above or below, depending where you're watching from. If you are on YouTube, you can find it below. If you are watching on Facebook, obviously it's going to be above. Now, the webinar is on Friday. You have to register. It's a limited seating, guys. Today, I do want to talk about extensions, okay? Because this is very important for people who are considering whether it's B visa for, let's say you want to go to United States, you are going there for a business, for a conference, business meeting, etc., and you want to stay longer. I do want to explain the difference, what's the status and what's the visa, because people think that the visa stamp, if the visa stamp says 5 years or if the visa stamp says 10 years, it means you can stay in the US for 5 or 10 years. And that is not true. That is absolutely not true. There is a difference between the visa status and the visa stamp, and you have to understand the difference if you want to take care of your status, because you don't want to overstay. At some point, you scale the business, you want to apply for a green card, and you need to know that, because once you overstay, it's very difficult. Actually, it's not possible. It's almost impossible unless you apply for a waiver. Or if you get married to a US citizen, once you overstay, in other words, you're screwed. So you don't want to be in that situation, okay? Now, if you are someone who, let's break it down for you. If you are coming to US on B visa conference, whatever, just temporary thing, temporary stay, you get the visa stamp for 5 years or 10 years. Actually, the norm is 10 years. The moment you enter the US, you will be able to stay up to 6 months or less, depending. It may be different. I'm not saying it's just because the standard is actually 6 months. I'm not saying everyone is getting 6 months. There are cases that they're entering on B1 and they can stay only up to 1 month or maybe 2 months. Okay, you have to understand that it's not a standard, even though in general people get like 6 months, up to 6 months. With E2, you're entering the US and you should be able to get up to 2 years. But there are cases when people get up to 1 year only. It really depends. In general, it should be 2 years for E2. And this is stay, you will be in United States. This is the legal stay. So we're no longer talking about the visa stamp. We're talking about stay, legal stay. And therefore you can adjust your status, your stay, while you are on E2. You can either change it to a green card or you can extend it. Now, these extensions that I want to focus on in this video are concerning people whose, number one, either your visa is going to expire or your stay is going to expire. So how do you know how long is your stay? You have to check the stamp in your passport. What does it say? Does it say 2 years, 1 year? And when is the expiration date? Also, if you check the I-94 card electronically, you can check it out. You should be able to see how long you can stay in the US. And before the expiration of the date, you have to either extend your status in the United States, or, and it depends on your situation, individual situation, or you going to apply for a new visa through the US Embassy. That is called consular processing. So in case of B visa, the maximum length of stay is 6 months, even though your stamp is saying 5 years or 10 years. With E2, if your stamp says 5-year stamp, the maximum length of stay is either 1 year or 2 years, depending on your individual case. Usually it's 2 years. You have to really carefully keep that in mind, because just because you get a stamp for 5 years doesn't mean you can stay in the US 5 years. If you do that, you overstay and you stay in US illegally. The moment you leave the country and you are back entering the country again, that is the moment you're going to count how many days, weeks you can stay in the United States, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, again, or 6 months in case of B visa. You have to understand the difference. So if you want to later extend your stay, you don't need to leave the US. You can totally do it through the filing at the USCIS within the United States. But I do recommend you go back to your home country and apply for the visa, because it's simple. Once you get the stamp, once you have the visa, not the stamp in this case, once you have the visa in your passport, you can travel back and forth and you can re-enter the country multiple times, taking into consideration you have multiple entry visa. Again, there are countries with E2 visa who issue only 2 entry visa or 1 entry visa. There are no multiple entries. You have to keep that in mind. This is not for everybody, but it is for the majority of people, majority of the countries. Because again, the relationship between that particular country is governed by the international treaty between that country and United States. Okay? So what you're going to do, you're either going to apply for a visa again if your visa stamp is already expired, or you're going to leave the US and then re-enter back if your visa stamp is still valid. If your visa stamp is expired, obviously you don't have a choice. You either need to go through the US Embassy consular processing and extend it there by applying for the new visa again, or you're going to stay in the US and you're simply going to apply for extensions. You're going to apply for extensions. So this is pretty much the process. If you don't know the difference between B1 business visa and E2 investor visa, you should go back. Yesterday I did live and you can check it out, because yesterday I did talk about how you can get B and E2 and what's the actual main difference. And you should know the difference, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're someone who wants to run the business in the US in the near future. You need to know the difference. And people oftentimes ask me, can I start a business on B visa? Yes, you can. But they also ask, can I manage the business on B1? No, you cannot. So for that matter, you need either E2 or L. If you are from a treaty country, you go with E2. If you are not, you go with Plan B, which is the L visa. I talk a lot about L visa, Plan B for those who are not from a treaty country. So certainly you can do that. Again, the upcoming webinar, live webinar, is on Friday, happening 10 a.m. EST. Tune in if you are an entrepreneur who wants to start a business, and also get on the waitlist for the American Dream Accelerator program, and you will receive $500 off coupon. The program will be launching soon and you will be updated. The link to register for the program is about this video and also is going to be below if you are watching on YouTube. I want to apply for a student visa. I don't do student visa anymore. I used to, but not anymore. I'm just serving entrepreneurs, focusing on entrepreneurs. But I do have a course on how to get a student visa. If you want, you can get the course at www.ImmigrationBizAcademy.com. And that is going to actually guide you and help you how to apply for a student visa. If you do want to apply for a student visa, you should definitely first contact the school, get the I-20. You need to be enrolled in school. You have to pay the tuition. You have to show that you have ability to pay the tuition. You have to have a proof, like bunch of evidence and documents, and then you can apply for a student visa. But without that, you cannot really apply for any student visa. And there are still countries that even if you are enrolled in school, you can unfortunately, you will not be able to get the visa. So I don't know where you're from, your country, what's your country. So you have to take that into consideration as well. But the school officials will be able to tell you if you contact the school foreign office. Actually, not foreign, what's it called? The student office, foreign student office or something like that. Anyway, if you contact the school, you will be able to see actually admission office for international students, something like that it's called. Each school call it in a different way. Foreign office, probably not foreign office. Okay, so I think I covered everything, guys. If you are watching a replay, you can always leave a comment below and I will answer to your question as soon as I can. For those who are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you do like this video, like it, share it with people who need this information, and stay tuned and definitely join the live webinar that is happening on Friday if you are an entrepreneur who wants to start a business, move to US, live the American dream, and scale your business and create phenomenal transformation in your life and in other people's life. Definitely that is place for you, and you should also consider the American Dream Accelerator for that matter. So I'll see you in my next live. Have a wonderful day. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to do a live actually on my personal page with one of my friends slash affiliate partners, and we will talk about how to actually start if you are an entrepreneur. So definitely stay tuned. I will share the video as well tomorrow, so you will be able to watch that interview as well. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.